journaling time.
Ooh, all right, everybody, we made it. We had some technical difficulties starting a couple minutes late, but we made it. We figured it out. AirPods, what are you going to do? How's everybody doing? Say what's up in the chat while we get everything ready for us this evening. Let us know how your week's been going, what you've been doing, thinking, or whatever you feel like sharing.
I can't believe it's still January. That's so crazy.
I mean, it has been a long month, but before you know it, we're going to be like, I can't believe 2026 is over,
True.
I feel like I feel like unplugged from time personally. Like I can't even grasp the rate that it's moving at these days, and sometimes for better, sometimes not so much better, but we get by and by. Got Linda's in the house.
Yeah.
Geeky Witch in the house. We're staying warm. It's warm here. I mean, it gets cold in the mornings, but by 11, I'm taking off all the layers,
I hope everyone's doing okay.
Some crazy weather going on. My friend in Nashville was like, yeah, it's going nuts. But fortunately, we're headed to Florida tomorrow. My friend is having his 40th birthday, and I still have to pack. So I am in a frazzled state, but this is kind of like one of my favorite states at this point to come to journaling in, because I know that even if I've had the most frantic or crazy day, I'm just going to sit down here, jam with you all on some journal prompts for 20 minutes, and then I'm going to feel amazing, by the time we're all hanging and talking and all that stuff.
And just a heads up, honey, Bowie has let himself out of the bedroom and is now playing with his toys. So
I hear the skitters.
I will be right back, okay? You go ahead. You start us off. Let me just...
He's probably fine, no?
He's taking his toy.
Check on him. Him.
I'll be right back.
I'll say what's up to the people in the chat. We got Deidre's here. Hope all is well with everyone. Still snowy and cold here. Yeah, I don't know what that's like. I really have only seen snow 10 times. It's kind of crazy. Grew up in Florida, lived in California for the other half of my life. Longest January on record, says Bernitas. Or Bernita S. So much snow. Wow. You guys making snowman? Snow angels? Sarah says, hi all, cold as heck in New Hampshire, but got a new puppy? Oh, what kind of pup? I love pups. Alex, Sarah got a new puppy, so we're waiting to hear on what kind of pup.
I love
Got Misty joining us. Linda's here.
Oh, amazing.
Oh, that's right. 72nd birthday. Happy belated. Gabby's here, driving from San Marcos. I've heard San Marcos is kind of nice.
Is that San Diego? Where is
it's like northeast of San Diego, I think. Let us know, Gabby. What's San Marcos like? Yes, happy birthday, Linda.
Oh my goodness, Mary! Oh no, that's mean. I can't even begin to comprehend that. I can't pretend like I understand that.
Linda says, "What part of Florida? It's been cold." Yeah, I heard. We're headed to Orlando for some reason. Well, I know the reason. My friend rented a big house, and we're gonna go golfing, which I'm not a golfer, so that's gonna be interesting. But yeah, I was looking at the weather forecast. I was expecting to be rocking shorts and stuff, but looks like I think my Cali. I say Cali like I'm. For people who don't know, who don't live in California, nobody here says Cali, but for some reason I do, apparently. Anyway, I can wear my Cali attire in Florida, and I think it'll work out. Sarah says there's a little mountain cur, 6 months, Dagny. Oh, gotta send pictures. Drop them in the group.
Okay, yeah, it is outside of San Diego. Very nice.
Oh, how's our pup doing?
Sarah, he's doing really well, actually. He's been responding well to his radiation and chemo, and he's in good spirits. He has no idea he's sick. He has literally no idea. So
either that or he's just got the best attitude ever. I mean, either way,
yeah.
I'm so proud of him. I think of all the things that I just moaning about having to do this and that. And then like I look over and it's like, oh, like someone literally gave him the shortest clock for his little life ever. And, all sorts of difficult treatments and stuff like that. Yeah, you wouldn't know. Alex just had to get up because he was going crazy in the other room. Like
he was playing so hard. We had to just bring him a little bit.
Yeah, so it does seem like we've been blessed with a bit of good luck on that front. We don't know what the timetable is going to look like for it, but he has responded very well to his radiation. So yeah, appreciate you asking. Gabby says next to Oceanside, I guess is San Diego,
yeah.
We got a Ms. Juba May. Okay, greetings from the land of enchantment. Ooh, we've got to make a trip out to New Mexico. I've heard really good things. Yeah, I've driven through there. I really want to check out Santa Fe. I've heard really good things, but let us know. Give us the skinny on.
Again on the TV. Our time has come, babe. Here we are. Thank you, Sarah.
People cheering on Bowie. All right, this is Sherry, signed in as your ministry. Well, we're glad to have the ministry with us this evening. All right. All North County, San Diego. Cool. Amazing. All right, so who's ready to get into some journaling? I am. All right, let me get the right things on the screen for us all, and we'll get rocking. Oh, I got to share the screen again. That would be a help. Okay. Here we go. All right. So this evening, I thought we could journal about identity. And you guys are probably like, why do you want to journal about identity? That's not fun. Like you have to wait at the DMV, get an ID. What's he talking about? Well, mostly what I'm talking about is the source of our behavior. I heard a really interesting take when I was just exploring some of my personal growth materials and such. And it was a take on, how do you get yourself to like have good habits and good behaviors and stuff like that. And the thesis, from the gentleman that I was, watching a talk from, he was saying that we often focus on our habits and things like that, which I think, is valuable. But really, the source of all of our behavior is actually rooted in our identity and how we identify. Like, I am the type of person who will do X, Y, and Z. And that story that we tell ourselves over and over again is actually the root of what, manifests in our experience, and, particularly in the way of thoughts, emotions and behaviors. It's the things that you identify with. And so, that's a pretty big meaty term, identity. Like, what does that mean? Well, I thought we could explore that a little bit today. So we've got 5 prompts for you that are going to help you to explore the internal landscape, right? So these are they're going to be pretty easy prompts, I think, but everybody's different, right? So I'm really excited to see what we all come up with after this. But I'll read you the little blurb here. We're going to explore the quiet spaces within yourself that exist apart from your daily roles and responsibilities. This series invites you to notice the shifting weather of your inner world and the steady ground beneath it. So yeah, let's take a look. Let's see what's under the hood, see what makes us tick. And, you might see some things that where it's hopefully, you can connect some dots. You're like, oh, that's why I show up in that way. And, we do talk a lot about like habit stacking and things like that and changing your routines and all that stuff. But I think if we take a look at that root cause, the identity, we might actually find a way to kind of cut to the root of everything that's going on. And, ultimately, I think we all just want to be doing our best, showing up as our best selves. So I think you're going to like this evening's program. Let's get our little ticker on here for any newbies who happen to pop in. Also, if you're new, let us know so we can give you a proper journal party welcome. But it looks like we had a lot of familiars in the chat. Okay, here's our little ticker here. Let me move the prompts up. All right, Alex, do you want to do the odds or the evens this evening?
I will do evens tonight.
Even Steven. Okay. Sounds good to me. Everyone in the chat ready? Let me know, but I'm going to get it started because there's a delay and we can't be waiting for that. We gotta journal. It's party time. Let's write. All right. Recall a time recently when you felt completely at home in your own skin. Describe what you were doing and how you felt in that exact moment of ease without any pressure to perform.
Consider the different labels or titles people use to describe you and how they feel when you wear them. Which of these roles feels most like a heavy costume? And what sensations do you notice when you imagine stepping out of it?
All right. Forgot we got at least one newbie in the house. Got to say, what's up to Simply Siobhan? Everyone give a warm journal party welcome.
Hello.
All right. And Mr. Capybara has a prompt for us. Think of a version of yourself from 5 years ago that no longer exists today. Reflect on what that person valued most and how you feel about the ways you have outgrown or moved away from those old priorities.
Imagine yourself in a space where no one knows your name, your history, or your achievements. Without these external facts to define you, how would you describe the energy and thoughts of the person who is simply existing in this moment?
All right, last one. Think about a quality you once admired in someone else that you are now starting to notice within yourself. How does it feel to witness this part of you taking shape? And what does its presence suggest about who you are becoming?
Did it.
All right, we did it. Yay. Let us know in the chat how everyone did. How'd you do, girl, Alex?
I did great. That last question was very relevant. And I had written that quality I once admired about others is anyone who's willing to kind of give back and turn their personal traumas into fuel for making the world a better place. And today, actually, unfortunately, a woman that I greatly admire and whose journey I've been following for years passed away. And her name is Shirley Raines. I'm not sure if anyone else is familiar with her, but her Instagram handle is Beauty to the Streets, and she has been in Skid Row and all in Vegas as well, in parts of Los Angeles, giving back to the homeless. And it has been, I mean, she's just an incredible human being, and I highly recommend people go and check out her work. It's a huge blow to a lot of people. A lot of people are familiar with her work. She's just this outstanding human being, and this was completely not expected. And it's just someone that I have, again, for years been following her journey and just really looked up to her. And so rest
She
in
passed
peace.
today?
She passed today, or they announced it today. She's only 58. So again, go check out Beauty to the Streets on Instagram, and I'm sure it's some other handles. But yeah, she's an incredible human, and so it was very relevant, kind of, and just acknowledging that she's the type of person that I truly look up to, and she's just amazing. So so rest in peace to Miss Shirley Raines. But yeah, I thought these prompts were really nice. Every so often I really struggle to like get anything out on paper, or there's just some mental blocks, and today really flowed for me.
Okay.
And yeah, so I appreciate all the questions, and it was very motivational, and again, very relevant to kind of where I'm at in my life right now. So appreciate it.
Good. Well, outside looking in, I will say that it sounds like some of the best parts of your hero. I forgot what the name was. What was the name again?
Shirley Raines.
Shirley Raines. Yeah, I mean, outside looking in, like, you're one of the most giving and charitable people that I know, and you do it, in your own way, and it's always from the heart. It's never performative. So, I think that does show up in a really nice way for you, and hopefully you had some fun with some of the other prompts. I had a really interesting one, like right out the gate. I was journaling through that first prompt, and the whole prompt was like, oh, what's when was it when have you felt like completely at home in your own skin? And I kind of started writing like as I was just like reading the question, and quickly listed some examples. But then the second half of the question was like when you didn't feel like you needed to perform or anything like that. And I quickly realized that the examples that I had jotted down were instances where I was performing. And so it's kind of, I'll have to chew on that one a little bit, because I sort of realized like a huge part of my own identity that I've formed is one of a performer. And in a lot of ways, like, I think I can shine in that role and that kind of identity and whatnot. But inherently in the name, like there's some responsibility in it, and it can be kind of loaded, like having to perform, and not even just like entertainment. Like those were the examples that I listed, like when I was playing in bands and or doing stuff with theater, or even on here, get on and kind of perform a little bit. Like I feel super at home with that. But like I think like the other side of me that shows up as a performer is like with like contract work and like the stuff that I do, to make money. A lot of times, as like a consultant and things like that. And I'm very concerned with performance. I mean, one of the things that I specialize in is performance marketing. And I mean, it's definitely not, song and dance, but it is in a way. I find myself doing all sorts of crazy song and dance to just try to satisfy like the expectations that come along with that. So I had a lot of fun kind of picking apart the different roles and the way that I show up in that. I find that with a lot of this stuff, there's ways that it can show up really healthy, and then there's ways where it's just obviously not healthy. And so it was kind of nice to pick that apart and get some eyes on, okay, like these are the best parts of that. Here's some of the stuff that I can let go, and just having some awareness of that. Hopefully, in my day to day, as like I'm actually showing up in behavior, I can recognize some of that and augment and adjust and do whatever I need to do to feel okay. I mean, that was the other thing that kind of came out was in a place where nobody knows you. Like, what are you like? What how do you feel? Like, what's your energy like? And in a place where nobody knows me, there's none of that baggage or none of that expectation or anything like that. I'm just me, I'm just open. I'm just here, and just ready to participate and just share experience. And I think that the flip side of that is like when it does become performative, like, oh, I don't know you don't know anything about me, let me tell you how great I am, let me tell you all the things that so that you like me and that you think I'm worth talking to, as if like you don't have inherent worth. And I've struggled with that a lot. And so it's always really fun to pick apart these things, like even though I write a lot of the prompts with like intention behind them and an idea about how it's going to go, I'm always surprised at what pops up. So yeah, I'm curious how our folks in the chat did with this evening's prompts. I see we're actually pretty light on the commentary, so definitely do share if you feel up to it. We've got our newbie here, Simply Siobhan 20. These questions have been so relevant for me. I'm at the beginning of a healing journey, so these were great moments to think on. That's awesome. Yeah, I it's always nice when they, when a prompt hits you at like the right with the right timing and timbre. And so glad you found it enjoyable. And yeah, I'm not privy to what your healing journey entails, but on our website and in our app, we've got a ton more where this came from. Or even if you're just looking for this format, we've got a ton of replays. For all sorts of things. We've journaled about a lot together in this little tribe of ours, and so if you find that this sort of format, guided journaling is something that's helpful for you, then I invite you to take a deeper look. We've got loads more where that came from. So yeah. And we've got some people welcoming you as well. Awesome. Sarah says, these were hard. I feel like these were things I've never thought about, and they definitely required some digging to answer. Yeah, I agree. That not some of them, I have like an immediate response. Oftentimes though, my favorite prompts are the ones where, you do chew on it for a little bit. Maybe, the right insights doesn't show up, right there at that moment on the page, but even just the act of giving, your brain something to chew on, it's like, oh, I hadn't thought about that before. I wouldn't be surprised if you start to come up with, all sorts of different insights. I mean, that often happens to me just, days later. It's like, oh, that prompt that, and I'm thinking of like, oh, like that's exactly that answer. And so, the mind is a really cool thing. I mean, I think just giving it something to chew on, it's going to process it like a computer, but, like computers, we all process things differently, depending on what you got going on, what kind of mental browser tabs you have open and stuff like that. But, it's I think it's important to think about like what drives us, our identities, our core values, and more importantly, like, all right, well, and how does that show up in the world, and how do I want to show up in the world? And from there, we can all be much more conscious and aware and actually, contribute, as opposed to just kind of like doing this autopilot thing that so many people do. And it's easy to do. It's so easy to get like lulled into, a certain way of thinking, whether it's, social media, TV, all the different media and stuff that's swirling around. And it's like, all right, let's take a moment to check in with number one. So yeah, well, either way, thanks for journaling with us. We always love seeing you here, Sarah. All right, we've got Gabby here, says, show me, I definitely noticed the change over 5 years ago. My behavior and moods have definitely changed. I feel so smarter, and I don't mind sharing now. Yeah, I mean, well, for sure. We see you sharing all the time. I love it. I love having such an, engaged community, and, you're definitely a part of that. I wouldn't have known that was an issue 5 years ago. Sorry, Alex, you were saying something?
I love the confidence, and that's amazing. It feels so good to get to that point where you're just like proud of who you are and what you have to say and what you can contribute to the world. I was going to say, in the past, I kind of identified as my personal traumas. That's how I introduce myself. That's how I describe myself. Like, and it's just so nice to be at that point in my life where all that is in the past. And now I can just, self-identify as, the human being I am and what I stand for and whatnot. So, and I don't know, the journey has been very interesting, but I'm happy that I can now kind of just lead with, with my beliefs and my values, and not have to constantly connect myself to the
Yeah,
things.
well, it's who you actually are, right? I mean, um, I was reading and listening to. I've been on this kick for I don't know if you've ever heard of Anthony DeMello. I think is how you say his name. Um, Really cool thinker, and I've been looking into his stuff on just awareness, and one of the concepts that was brought up, and I've heard this before, but it's always cool to like have it resurface. Is just like the difference between like I and me, and it's like, okay, like I am the one who like observes everything, who observes me. But the me is the story. It's like the stuff that we're collecting. It's the identity. It's all this stuff. And it's not to say you throw it out. Like it's part of the game.
Yeah.
It's part of like how we show up in this world. But like you are not your trauma. You are the one who experienced that trauma. And from there, like there's all sorts of stuff that is actually you that you do bring. But if you're identifying with the trauma, it's going to resemble that trauma as opposed to like this like clean, pristine, beautiful, magnificent, this much bigger part of who you are, like your actual self. And I've seen that show up in you for sure. Like I remember when we first met, like, I mean, you're still you were still you. I fell in love with you, right? But like how you've shown up in the time that we've known each other, like I've seen tremendous growth on that front. It's a breath of fresh air. Like it's a really, I mean, selfishly, I'm so happy because it's like, I think it's a great gift to like actually, seek awareness and then return to the world and share that with others versus like that, the other like lower parts of yourself. And like, you can't beat yourself up about any of that. Like I certainly show up in, my me, right? Like my self-importance and all that stuff. But it's like, man, when you check that baggage at the door, like everyone is better off for it. Like everyone just has a better experience.
I want to make sure everyone knows like you're not alone if you are in that space. And I know I was stuck in that space for so many years. So just keep doing the work and keep exploring yourself and keep journaling and doing all these things, because you eventually get to that point where, you can just be yourself and that's enough. So
yeah, it is, whether you believe it or not. I have trouble believing it for myself, but Catherine says, I was unable to get on through Facebook. Yeah, I noticed we had mostly YouTubers on tonight. It must have been some issue with Facebook, as there often is.
Sorry.
I'm glad you made it onto YouTube, though. Gabby says, for me, I definitely noticed a change. The 5-year change has really reflected me. Yeah, I was thinking about like 5 years ago. I'm like, oh, we were like mid-COVID. I was an employee, like most of my life I've been an independent contractor, consultant, stuff like that. And like completely different version of myself, completely, different things going on, but a lot of similarities as well. And it's just, I don't know, I'll save you like the long-winded explanation of all of it, but there's been growth there for sure. And man, I am glad it is not 2021 right now. So that's at least one thing that was awesome. Lost where we were in our comments here. Here we go. Sarah says the 5 years ago one was the biggest. I am not the same person I was 5 years ago. Well, wouldn't it be disappointing if you were, right? If there was no evolution there? So yeah, man, 5 years ago was a different world, kind of.
Yeah. And COVID brought out a different side of everyone. It was something you can't even begin to prepare yourself for.
I think we all wigged out a little bit.
It was very interesting. Relationships changed, people change. It was just such an interesting time, and so happy to be past that.
Yeah, well, I mean, what a pressure cooker of a situation. I mean, the pressure cooker, it changes form. We still got a pressure cooker going on. But yeah, it is interesting though what pressure does, right? I mean, pressure is what turns coal into diamonds. So that's a really nice way of looking at it.
Very nice.
It also can pulverize rocks completely, right? So, I mean, I don't know what the metaphor is actually there, but
I see where you're going.
yeah, it's that was another theme that was showing up for me here. Is just like, I was examining like how pressure shows up in my life and how like my identity kind of seeks it out, because it's like, as somebody who sees themselves as a performer, it's like, well, there's the pressure of being on stage, or there's the pressure of having to hit a quota. Like, that pressure is really intense. And like, I sort of like identify with like, okay, I can handle it. I can, I'll do it. But like, it's like, all right, like, why am I doing, for like, when you actually examine it, it's like, who am I doing that for? Is it to impress somebody, or is it like, because I actually value like what is going on here? And I was, like, talk about that 5 years ago version of me, like as an employee, it's like, okay, that pressure was for other people, to impress other people, my bosses, and, like, whoever I thought would think it was cool if we raised another round for the business or something like that. Whereas like, now I feel like I'm under tremendous pressure, but it's for me, like doing the journal party stuff. It's like, I really want to get this out there, because like, it's so hard not to like keep this inside of me. I want to share it with everybody. And it's like a different energy. It's the healthier pressure. Yeah.
Yeah.
Geeky Witch says, still writing.
There's so much more to it. Yeah. I could go forever.
Mary says, I wear many hats, luckily not as many as I used to, but being aware of how your body feels taking off the hat was eye-opening. Do I want to wear a hat that feels heavy? Yeah, that I really enjoyed that part of the prompts too. There's that like marketer persona, or like the guy for hire who's going to come and fix your business, that identity, that like wearing that is so heavy for me. And like taking it off, not having to perform and do backflips for other people, it's like,
that was exactly what I wrote. It's like, I feel like I'm taking a breath for the first time, a deep, fresh breath of air. Like it's very, and what a, like,
lightness
feeling. Yes. A lot of lightness. Yeah.
Pump Deaf Ministry says, I spent the last year in therapy and am finally able to stand up for myself and my worth. That was something I saw in others, and I recognized this was, something I needed in my life. Well,
I love that. Biggest advocate for therapy. Therapy has done wonders. And my first question on here, I was reflecting on a recent therapy session I had. I do family therapy once every few weeks with my family, and just, hearing my therapist reflect back like who I was versus who I am today. And they're different people, and, it's just such a relief having all these tools and being able to, get out everything you need, and it's a beautiful thing. So I applaud you for doing that. And it takes a lot of guts to be like, you know what, I'm gonna face everything, and I'm gonna put it all out there, and I'm gonna finally take a deep, hard look at everything. And so you should be very proud of yourself. Absolutely.
Yeah, it's not easy, but it's worth it for sure.
Oh yes.
I have I sort of swung over the bar on the standing up for myself. That was another thing I was journaling about. It's part of my identity that like I'm assertive and don't let anyone get anything over on me, to the point where I realized, it's not like an abundance kind of mindset. Like I'm trying to like protect things, and that like as if like there's not enough and stuff like that. And it's like, yeah, I used to have a problem where like I think maybe I thought I wasn't assertive enough, or like, like I was weak or something like that. And now I'm just like, I'm like a warpath all too often, and I need to like chill out.
Just bring our nervous system down a couple notches. But yes, but your heart's in it, so that's good.
Yeah. Well, and it's something I am working on in therapy. It's like, oh, you realize you need to control everything. And it's like, oh, yeah, I guess I do. So, we'll try to do better. Every day is a new opportunity. Pump Deaf Ministry. I even wrote that I was proud of myself. Well, you should be.
Proud of you. That
I'm
is
proud
incredible.
of you. Catherine says, my heaviest titles are mom and caretaker. Yeah. I've had these roles for more than half my life, and one that will always be a part of my life. Yeah. It's like it's crazy when those roles like kind of get like cemented in, like tattooed into you, and those are roles that I just haven't had. I mean, well, the caretaker a little bit, but not in the way I know you have it. So. Yeah, well, I hope that you found a good way to like interface with that, dissect it, and feel okay with all that. But I know that that's part of the work that you've been doing. So, believe in you. Geeky Witch says, questions 4 and 5 blended for me. I used to be entirely about people pleasing, even if it sacrificed myself. I learned from a friend about what she called losing her give a shit to say. What is it? The subtle art of not giving a bleep?
Yeah.
I was trying not to say the bad word. Yeah.
That's hard too, being able to step in your own and saying no and stop caring so much and about, all those unnecessary things. So good for you.
Yeah, I mean, and the irony of that, right, is like you think about like all the people pleasing behavior, like when you're seeking approval from people, it's like, think about like the way, like, because we've all done it. It's like core to all of us, right? We all want to be liked and loved and stuff. And it's like, personally, I think about like the types of things that I say in conversation when I want someone to like me. It's like why was I bragging about that? That's so lame. And then the irony is like, I'm not even approving of myself at that point because I'm judging myself about all that. And like, I don't know. Yeah. When you're seeking that approval, like you are like so much less likely, I think, to actually like exhibit the behavior that people would like love and approve of. And it's just, I don't know. I feel like there's some irony in there and it's been something that I've historically struggled with. So I feel it, the people pleasing thing.
And actually, Melissa, I just read The Life-Changing Magic of Tidying Up, but there is a second book called The Life-Changing Magic of, I believe that's what it's called, of Not Giving an F. And I think you might want to look into that.
There's a lot of not giving an F books out there.
Yeah.
People are catching on to it.
You deserve not to give an F.
I mean, from my interactions with Geeky Witch, I would not have guessed she was a people pleaser. She definitely strikes me as one who's in charge of her Fs to give.
Yeah. That's awesome.
Catherine says, it's me, Kathy. Yeah, we know. It's Kathy Poo in the house. It's me, Kathy. My friends were outgoing, confident. I liked being in the shadows. Now I'm embracing what makes me different, and now I'm showing more confidence in being assertive and approachable. Awesome.
Good for you. That's great. Step into the light a little more, Kathy. We want to see you.
Yeah. Sarah says, Alex, unrelated, when is the morning gratitudes and goals coming back? So, I've been hard at work building the new app, and I know I've been talking about it for way too long, but it's like every time I squash a bug, another one pops up, or like every time we're about ready to launch, it's like, oh, but we can't launch without this thing. So the answer to that is it's coming back, but it's going to be a little bit different. I don't know that we are going to be able to do the Zooms as regularly, but the way that we have it set up is on the new site. Maybe I can actually show you this. Hold on. Uh-oh. Okay. Yeah, back to the programs. Yeah, so the way that we have it on the new site is we're going to be having round-the-clock events going on. So we'll have multiple sessions for different time zones. So daily morning pages session, and there's like an early session and a later session, and so you can just RSVP to those. It'll send you reminders, and you can pop in when the sessions are live. And it's actually a room that kind of resembles what you would see on the on YouTube, with like the prompts on the left, and then a chat on the right. Or if you're on mobile, it's like a little, kind of looks like Instagram Live a little bit. And so I figure, we'll have different cohorts popping into the later group, the earlier group, or whatever it is. Everyone can kind of do whatever works for them. And the other thing that we're going to have is the ability to, for premium members, to actually create their own programs and their own events. So if you have a book club, or a group of friends that you just want to get together with and journal through stuff, you can pick one of our programs. You can write one of your own programs and host that in your own journal party. And for the people who so the regular events that are like daily, round the clock or whatever, those will be mostly just chat and prompts. But if you do create your own event, you actually do have the ability to get on there with a video and stuff. So I know there's coaches out there, therapists out there, and other people who have come to me and said, hey, we want to make use of this platform, which before you couldn't do that. But on the new app, you absolutely will be able to. And man, I've been going nuts trying to get this thing released. But quality is important, and it's okay to go slow. I'm learning these things, but we definitely have a deadline of mid-February, because I do not want to continue with our current app, because our new one is so much better, and I don't want to pay those folks anymore. Anyway, Sarah says, that's fancy. Yes. Born of love. Kathy says, in a space full of people who don't know me, I'm the most intelligent chameleon with no restrictions, as long as I stay out of my head, right? That's easier said than done. Yes, morning pages, right? I mean, I totally ripped my routine, my morning routine out of that. I mean, mine's a little different, and actually those morning pages that we have programmed in the site will be the way that we were doing it on those Zoom sessions, where, we do the morning pages part of it, but then there's also the goals and the gratitude part on there. And then there's time for everybody to hang out and do what they do. So I think you're going to love it. Geeky Wish says, yeah, I've grown into myself a bit since COVID. Definitely was life-changing. Yeah, for sure. COVID was so hard, man. Mary says, I missed the small group accountability with everyone. Yeah. Well, I mean, the nice thing about on the new app is you can follow people and stuff as well. So you can get your own little groups going. And, I'm thinking probably for the OGs that were in that, maybe we'll put together our own little mini group that we can still get together and kind of, do it as we used to. But, I've had to pause the Zoom sessions because developing this thing is more than a full-time job. I'm discovering, but we are close. It is so close to being released, and just got to make sure that it's all secure and everything. We don't want to jump the gun and expose everyone's data or something stupid, right? So just tech geek stuff. That's another part of my identity. I'm actually leaning into that one a little bit lately. I'm having a lot of fun being a creative tech geek, but I'm eager to get back to the easier day to day, journaling with all you folks and everything like that. So I'm really, anyway, I don't know, long-winded way of saying this thing's almost done, and I'm really excited for that. And I promise it's coming soon. Makes Mary's heart happy. Well, then it makes my heart happy. All right, folks, it is 7:02 Pacific Standard Time, and so I think it's time for us to call it. I've had a wonderful hour with all of you lovely party people, and from the bottom of my heart, thank you. It really makes it worthwhile every time you guys are showing up to these things, and as you can see, I'm putting a lot into it, and we've got some really cool things around the corner. I'm headed to Orlando this week to celebrate my friend's 40th. My 40th is next month. That's going to be crazy. So, we got a couple of travel things, but I don't think we're missing any Wednesdays. If we are, we'll be sure to let you know. Otherwise, we're back on it. it's 2026, and we've been knocking out these journal parties on Wednesday like it ain't no thing. So pretty proud of that. Proud of all of you. Proud of all of us. And hope you all have a wonderful rest of your evening, rest of your week. And as always, party on.
Party on. And stay warm and safe. Okay.
Yes. Stay warm and safe.